So I was given a bit of a plan to follow before I came here, and so I'll do that. The first thing was about me. You won't see me very often in the courts. Where you will see me most of the time is doing pro bono work out there for people who don't have the resources, who lost a lot of resources to a whole bunch of different, through litigation, for instance, or otherwise, just because they're just not part of that group who can actually afford legal services. I'm originally from Sudbury, from a very diverse, from a French-Canadian background in a very diverse city. Sudbury was a mining town back then. Probably shows my age. It still is, by the way, just a little bit. But there was all kinds of ethnicities around, and I grew up within that. And it was fantastic. I got to know other cultures, other languages, including Spanish. It was wonderful. And then, I decided to go into construction just because it was one of these things you could do in Sudbury. And so I learned a lot of the trades and stuff until one day I got fed up, went to university, went into education, taught a couple of years, found out it wasn't my vocation, and finally went into law, which is something that I really like. And today, I'm a general practitioner practicing part-time. Otherwise, I do more policy work for the government, and that's been keeping me going quite well for the last number of years, for that matter. Now, I think one of the issues that is facing the Law Society, or at least its members, it's the increase in the fees, actually, okay? I suppose unless, where I come from, we're not all that rich, for that matter, and these fees keep going up all the time. And I've noticed the same thing with regards to tuition fees everywhere. Okay, what's going on exactly is that there are programs being put in place, and I don't think there's a critical eye that's been put on those programs to establish whether or not they are necessary, or for that matter, whether they are part of the actual mandate of the Law Society. To a certain extent, I believe that the Law Society has a bit of a mission drift out of that. It's there to regulate the profession, but not necessarily to tell us how to do our job correctly. We went to law school for that. We are capable of doing our job. Okay, there are certain things that can go wrong, and they are there to put us back on track. The Law Society is also there to educate us, to give us our CDP credits in order that we remain on track with regards to where the law is evolving and all that. So I believe that when it comes to the fees, we can reduce them by actually having a critical look at where the money is being spent and cutting where it's necessary. Now, I'm talking about certain programs that are out there, but there's probably other things that are going on that need to have a more particular look. And on that matter, I suppose we'll find out once we're there. I had a look at the financial statements, by the way, and as usual, they're quite bare. There's not much you can look in there, but down the line, eventually, hopefully, we'll have a better look. Now, I also want to talk about a bit of the red tape that's been surfacing in our annual report every year. It's dawned on me. I'm looking at these new questions coming up, and we have to answer them. And goodness, what are they doing with that information? How are they going to treat it? I have no idea. All I know is that we have, it's no longer an elephant, the statement of principles that are behind that, and they're saying you have to be this way and that way. And it seems to me that the information they're asking us to, where are you from, what ethnicity, and all this, it would be nice if it was only to have an idea of what the profession is made of insofar as who makes them up, where we're all from, and what are the multicultural aspects of the practitioners in our profession. However, with the SOP, I get the feeling that it might go a little further. Now, on the SOP, what really bothers me, and this is why I'm part of the slate, is because I have trouble signing a document that forces me to think in a certain way. We've heard from other people earlier today that the SOP, is not quite right. It's not quite exactly what it is, but we'll just take years and years to tweak it. My question to you is, who will tweak it? How will it be tweaked? We've seen this in other areas of society before, okay? The proper way to proceed on this is to have a critical look at how the SOP was evolved, and then after that, come with a product that's worthwhile and this is what I want to do. I want to go against the recommendation and probably work
I
on a
must
new
stop
one.
you now to be fair to everybody. Thank you very much.